Welcome back, dear learners. Yesterday, we explored what social entrepreneurship is, how it differs from traditional entrepreneurship, and why it is so vital for bridging the gaps that neither the state nor the market fully address. We looked at some models and we saw how social enterprises balance innovation with compassion. But here is an important question. If social entrepreneurship is so significant today, where did it come from? Did it suddenly appear in the 20th century? Or does it have older roots? The answer is fascinating. Social entrepreneurship is not a new phenomenon at all. Its forms and language may be modern, but its spirit runs deep in human history. For centuries, communities across the world have designed creative systems to fight poverty, reduce inequality, and empower the vulnerable. And that's what today's session is all about. Roots and transformations of social entrepreneurship. We will move step by step, starting with the earliest religious and community practices, moving through the pre-industrial period, the Industrial Revolution, and the reformist movements of 19th and 20th centuries, and finally arriving at globalization and today's impact-driven enterprises. As we travel across these centuries, I want you to notice two things. First, how the core values of compassion, fairness, and empowerment remain constant. Second, how the forms of organization transform with time, from temples and guides to cooperatives and NGOs to professionalized enterprises today. Let's begin our journey. Early roots, faith community, and collective responsibility, religious charity traditions. Long before the word entrepreneur even existed, communities practiced forms of collective welfare inspired by religion and spirituality. Take Hinduism. Charity was not just voluntary, it was a sacred duty. The practice of dana encouraged redistribution of wealth. Temples became hubs of welfare, running annadanam or food kitchens. Even today, temple kitchens in places like Tirupati or Puri feed thousands daily, a living legacy of ancient systems of social responsibility. In Islam, zakat, compulsory alms giving, ensured that every Muslim contributed a portion of wealth to the needy. But it went further. The institution of Waqf created endowments that built schools, hospitals, and wells. These were not one-time donations, but sustainable infrastructures serving generations. Christianity too institutionalized welfare through tithing. Believers gave a tenth of their income to the church, which in turn supported the poor. Monastic orders across Europe became centers of education, healthcare, and relief. Imagine the medieval monastery. Monks teaching children, running herbal hospitals, and giving food to the travelers. In Buddhism and Jainism, values like karuna, which is compassion, and ahimsa, non-violence, translated into community welfare. Monasteries became shelters and hospitals. Chain traders financed inns and food distribution centers across trade routes, ensuring that both pilgrims and common people were supported. So, what do we see here? Religion did not live charity as an occasional act of kindness. It institutionalized, it embedded it into community life. In many ways, these faith-based systems were proto-social enterprises, organized, enduring and mission-driven. While religion gave moral direction, communities also invented practical mechanisms to deal with crisis. These were called mutual aid societies. Imagine being a worker in 18th century London. If you fell sick, there was no health insurance. If you died, your family had no support. Out of necessity, groups of workers formed friendly societies. Each member contributed small amounts into a common fund. When disasters struck, the fund supported them. Similar forms existed worldwide. In Africa, rotating savings groups, still alive even today as tontines or stockwells, gave members access to collective funds. In India, caste-based associations and village cooperatives pooled resources for weddings, harvest failures, or even deaths. What makes these societies so interesting is their governance. Members elected committees, framed rules, and managed funds collectively. These were democratic experiments long before universal suffrage existed. In that sense, mutual aid societies were schools of leadership, teaching ordinary people accountability, participation, and self-management. Do you see the continuity from religious institutions to mutual aid societies? The idea is the same. When markets and governments don't support you, communities invent their own safety nets. Another fascinating early route is the guilds of medieval Europe. These were associations of craftsmen and merchants. At one level, they regulated trade, fixing prices, maintaining quality, training apprentices. But guilds went beyond economics. They cared for widows, orphans, and sick members. They organized festivals and built guilds halls that became community hubs. In fact, guild funds often supported local schools and churches. In India, the Shrenis served similar roles. Merchant groups maintained trade routes, financed temple construction, and contributed to civic projects. So, guilds were not just about profit. They were about balancing economic life with social responsibility. Very much in the spirit of social enterprises today. Let's pause and reflect in all these examples. Temples, monasteries, mutual aid societies, guilds. We see structured, sustainable forms of social responsibility. These were not just random acts of generosity, but carefully designed institutions. And that is the key. The institutionalization of compassion. Once compassion becomes organized, it becomes powerful, scalable, and sustainable. As we move into the 17th and 18th centuries, medieval guilds were declining, but new forms of collective organizations emerged. This was a period of transition before industrial capitalism fully took hold. In Europe, artisans and workers formed community enterprises that pooled resources to provide insurance, healthcare, or education. These were bottom-up solutions to insecurity. In India, community systems were equally innovative. Village panchayats acted as self-governing institutions, resolving disputes and coordinating welfare. Chit funds and Kuri provided rotating credit systems, helping families finance weddings or recover their bad harvests. These systems show us that financial inclusion was not invented by modern banks. It was already embedded in local culture. By mid-19th century, the cooperative model took shape with the Rochdale Society of Equitable Pioneers in England, 1844. 28 weavers and artisans, tired of adulterated goods and high prices, pooled their savings to open a cooperative store. Their rules: open membership, one member, one vote, fair distribution of surplus investment in education, became the Rochdale Principles, the foundation of the global cooperative movement. This was a true transformation, moving from informal self-help to formalized democratic enterprises. From these roots grew thousands of cooperatives worldwide in agriculture, retail, housing, and finance. Before we move further into the Industrial Revolution, let's pause for a short break. Take a few minutes for a stretch, sip some water, and think about this question. If you were living in the 18th century without banks, hospitals, or insurance, what kind of mutual aid system would you create with your own community? When you are ready, let's continue. Welcome back. Now we enter the Industrial Revolution, a time of both progress and crisis. Labor exploitation and urban poverty. The Industrial Revolution created factories, machines, and rapid urbanization. But it also produced dark realities. Workers labored 12 to 16 hours a day in unsafe conditions. Women and children were paid pennies. Cities expanded too quickly with slums, poor sanitation, and diseases like cholera. This was the age when poverty became not just personal misfortune but a structural problem of industrial capitalism. And it inspired reformers who became the early social entrepreneurs of the modern era. Robert Owen, a Welsh industrialist, managed the new Lanark mills in Scotland. He believed that workers were not mere tools of production, but human beings What new? Lanark Owen abolished child labor under 10, shortened working hours, built schools, provided decent housing, and created cooperative stores. His mills were profitable and humane at the same time. Owen's vision extended further. He dreamed of cooperative communities where people lived and worked together with shared resources. Though many of his utopian experiments failed, his ideas influenced trade unions, cooperatives, and later corporate social responsibility. He remains a pioneer of the idea that business can be both profitable and socially just. Meanwhile, in France, philosopher Charles Fourier imagined philanthropist communities of 1,600 people who shared resources and worked in harmony. Fourier believed work should bring joy, not misery. While his communities largely failed, his ideas inspired international communities in Europe and America. His experiments remind us that social entrepreneurship is not only about solving immediate problems but also about reimagining society itself. In India, the 19th century brought reforms who combined vision and action. Raja Ram Mohan Roy campaigned against sati, child marriage, and caste oppressions. He established schools that blended modern and traditional learning and used newspapers to spread reformist ideas, turning media into a tool for social entrepreneurship. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar revolutionized education, wrote simple Bengali primers, and fought for widow remarriage rights despite severe opposition. His work was institution building, not just advocacy. These pioneers laid the foundation for Indian social entrepreneurship by combining social reforms with institutional innovation. In the early 20th century, Mahatma Gandhi redefined social entrepreneurship. Through trusteeship, he argued that wealth should be used for society, anticipating modern CSR. Through village industries and the Khadi movement, he promoted local self-reliance and dignity of labor. Every spinning wheel was just political resistance, but economic empowerment. Gandhi's philosophy showed that true development means empowering the poorest first. After World War II, global poverty and inequality demanded new solutions. This era saw the rise of NGOs, cooperatives, and microfinance NGOs filled gaps left by weak states addressing health, education, and women's empowerment. In India, Seva emerged as a union for self-employed women. Cooperatives expanded with India's Amul model under Verghese Kurian, transforming dairy farmers into owners and lifting rural incomes through the White Revolution. Microfinance was pioneered by Muhammad Yunus in Bangladesh. His Grameen Bank proved that even the poorest women could be trusted with credit, sparking a global revolution in financial inclusion. The UN's development agenda, first MDGs, later SDGs, created a global framework that legitimated and funded social enterprises, aligning local innovation with global goals. In this phase, social entrepreneurship moved from grassroots to global networks. Bill Brereton's Ashoka Foundation introduced the idea of change makers, building a global fellowship of social entrepreneurs. Arvind Eye Care in India scaled eye surgery using a cross-subsidy model, paying patients funded free surgeries for the poor. Seva grew into a movement of millions of women workers, blending unionization with cooperative models. Barefoot College, founded by Bunker Roy, trained illiterate women as solar engineers, proving that expertise lies in communities themselves. What changed in this era was professionalization. Social enterprises adopted businesses tools, planning, measurement, investment to achieve scales. With our next part, let's look into contemporary trends, 2000 and till the present. Finally, we arrive at the present era. Three trends stand out: impact investing and blended finance. Investors now expect both financial returns and measurable social outcomes. In India, platforms like Varthana, financing affordable schools, and Selco, solar energy, thrive on such investments. Technology-driven enterprises. From digital inclusion, CSC centers, rural internet to edutech, Byju's, Pratham digital programs, and health techniques like telemedicine, platforms like eSanjeevani, technology is redefining access and affordability. Indian impact startups. Organizations like Rangade, which focus on peer-to-peer lending. Akshaya Patra, which focuses on midday meals at scale, and Selco, affordable solar solutions. These show how startups can combine innovation, scale, and social purpose. And all of these align with the Sustainable Development Goals, making social entrepreneurship a global partner in solving 21st century challenges. So learners, let's look back at this journey. From temples distributing food in ancient India to guilds in medieval Europe, from Owen's mills to Gandhi's spinning wheel, from Yunus microloans to today's impact investors. The spirit of social entrepreneurship has been a continuum of human effort. What has changed is the form, from charity to community solidarity, to professionalized enterprises. But what has not changed is the mission to create lasting social value, to empower the vulnerable, and to make societies more just and humane. As you reflect on today's session, ask yourself, which root of social entrepreneurship inspires you the most? And how might you carry forward this transformation in your own work? Thank you all for staying with me on this long journey through history. In our next session, we will examine specific case studies that illustrate these transformations in detail, linking the past to the present in practical ways. So stay tuned.